guys, welcome to the show. My name is Spencer, and I will be your Charlie Brown shirted host for today's episode of Expat Soup. Once again, we're coming to you live here from Jimmy V's in Yangzhou, China. And our guest today is a Mr. Isso, and your family name?
Jafta.
Isso Jafta.
Yeah.
Full name?
Isso Jafta.
Just two names.
I have a third name, but it's too
It's
black.
secret?
It's too black for Caucasians.
It's too black for Caucasians?
Yeah.
What is too black for Caucasians?
When you can't pronounce it.
Is it a different language?
Yeah, it's my home language.
What is your home language, Isso?
My home language is Xhosa. Xhosa.
Xhosa.
Now you see, you're saying it wrong already.
Give me one more.
Xhosa.
Xhosa.
If you can cut.
Oh, it's in the back.
Yeah, it's in the back. It's like in the wisdom teeth.
Xhosa.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna delete that image.
But you gotta make it flow. Nope. It's like Xhosa.
Xhosa.
You see?
Xhosa.
Ho.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm already uncomfortable. Good start.
No, but you actually compared to most black white people in South Africa, like you actually
Black
had the
white people?
no compared to most white people. My mistake.
Okay.
Compared to like most.
I
white
thought there was
people.
this whole new thing in
Black
South
white people.
Africa.
I mean,
The black
You
whites.
just call them mixed race. It's a worldwide thing. No, compared to like most white people in South Africa, you actually got the.
That was my first try.
Yeah, it was your first
Surely
try.
they've tried before.
They've tried before and then just they revert to Xhosa and like we're just like no,
Xhosa.
just don't.
It's with a and a osa.
Yeah.
Three
Pretty
sounds.
much. It's like three syllables basically.
Xhosa. I can't do
But
it.
you gotta make the syllables flow. That's the thing.
That's the hard part.
That's why Xhosa people have the most rhythm.
And you, I mean, obviously it's your home language. Of
Yeah,
course,
it's
you
my
can
home
say
language.
it like it's the back of your hand.
Pretty much.
So, you're from South Africa,
South Africa.
and which part, which city, which?
That's always been like a confusing question for me because I've lived so many more than 3 or 4 places in South Africa.
I know the
like,
feeling.
The typical South African would live in like one place for like the majority of their lives until like maybe like your university, and then they will go to university in a different city and then go back home. You know, and then maybe like when
So
they
it's
go back
very
home,
true to your hometown or home city.
I can't say I have a hometown or home city like because
Are you moving around or?
yeah, moving around. So basically, my story basically is like I grew up in the Eastern Cape, and the Eastern Cape is
What's a cape for people who don't understand?
Cape is
I know what it is.
Cape is basically a coastal town, you know.
Right.
But they also say Cape as in like that landscape. I guess I don't know. I feel like I might be bullshitting you honestly, and I'm from there. But like that's how we call states.
But the main thing is it's near the coast.
See, my
It's like a bay, like
we say bay, like,
San
you know,
Pedro Bay or what have you.
kind of vibe, but the Eastern Cape is kind of big because you get inland cities and then you get like coastal cities.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Eastern Cape like a province, a state, or
It's a province, yeah, actually, right? It's
yeah.
a province. So I don't know. I need to actually maybe do research on it. I mean, like, because we have Eastern Cape, then we have Northern Cape, Western Cape, Southwestern Cape. Like basically most.
so each province is a something Cape?
something Cape,
So
except for Bloemfontein, Gauteng, and Limpopo, and things like that. Because those places are like way inner city. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when you start going like to places like Bloemfontein, Free State, Gauteng, Limpopo, Northwest, you can say Northwestern Cape, I guess, but those places are like it's like you're going almost to the border of South Africa and you're heading into Africa basically, which is
So,
crazy.
and you're from the eastern
I'm
part.
from the eastern part. So the eastern part is predominantly Xhosa people. It's the Transkei. It's mostly known as the
And
Transkei.
South Africa, for people that don't know, is actually it's super large. Not actually, it is just super large, right? Like I'd say
mean-
it's like a third of America's size, just for
I wouldn't-
maybe judgment or
maybe
perception.
maybe because the thing is like South Africa. If you look at the map of Africa,
Well,
like
the continent of Africa is absolutely massive.
is massive. Yeah,
And South Africa, I would say, is kind of like the goatee.
yeah, it's literally the goatee of Africa.
And you're on the right side of the goatee. Next to Madagascar?
Yeah, if you basically like if you
Near Madagascar.
Wouldn't say near.
Not next to.
It's a bit of a boat ride, I guess. Like you have to take a kind of a ship there, basically. But like South Africa,
Is there an East Coast West Coast thing?
nah, it's not East Coast West Coast thing.
Would you say South Africans are? Well, obviously there's a racial divide.
The thing is, there's a racial divide, but I feel like there's a racial divide all over the world, so we can't really
Definitely.
segregate it to only South Africa.
Definitely.
But there's like you could say there's a cultural and tribe kind of like divide maybe, but that's kind of like something of the old times because especially nowadays, like
It's more open, more progressive.
It's more open, more progressive. Because there's like so many tribes in South Africa. You know, you get we have Nguni tribes and other tribes that coexist in South Africa, and because I'm Xhosa, right? But then you also get Zulu people, you get Sotho people, Swati, just to name a few. There's actually a lot, honestly.
Let's rewind just a bit. Xhosa, sorry I said it wrong. My bad. Xhosa comes from where?
The Transkei. It's an Nguni tribe.
It's just the eastern part of South Africa. That's where the I mean, where's the language? Where's the culture originate from?
See, this is where I kind of sound ignorant about my own country. So that's why I'm kind of like just basing it on what I know, especially because I wasn't really born that long ago. Like, I'm only 24.
Right.
But I know the Transkei is like home.
The Transkei.
That Transkei is like Eastern Capes, like it's like
Okay.
the heart of Eastern Cape, I would say.
Okay.
Because a lot of the Xhosa people come from the Transkei. Most like a majority of them. The thing about that is like throughout since the time of my parents, basically, a lot of people for work purposes they would travel and they would go to like Gauteng and they would go to like other provinces just for work or maybe other reasons, and then that's how.
But they stayed in South Africa.
They stay in South Africa. In South Africa.
Okay.
Majority of people would stay in South Africa.
If you're born there, that's kind of where you
there.
reside.
Yeah. If you're
So
born
do
there,
you
that's kinda where
do you believe that the Xhosa tribe 100% come from an area that is now South Africa? They haven't like migrated south from anywhere like North Africa.
No,
Definitely in South Africa.
definitely South Africa.
Okay.
Definitely South Africa.
Because I feel like a lot of tribes, that's where they are now, but maybe, like Spencer was asking, maybe they didn't originate there like
You see-
500 years ago.
You see, the thing is,
600.
like most people say that most of our tribes originated from the Khoisan. Khoisan were the OGs of the OGs, basically, kind of in a way. Because if you hear how the Khoisan speak, they have a lot of clicks in their language.
Xhosa's pretty clicky, right?
Yeah, Xhosa's pretty clicky. They got some clicks, you know.
What is it a constant click? Is it a click here and there? How do you say hello?
Sorry, I wouldn't say it's a click here and there. Because if I say hello, I'm saying molo.
Okay.
Unjani.
So, and sorry to wait. What were you talking about, Lee? My bad.
No, he answered the question. I was asking like if he believes the tribe came from South.
Yeah.
What is
Like,
now South?
I mean,
So it's from the region.
yeah.
like but basically the what I'm trying to get at is like the Transkei, in my opinion, from what I've kind of like come to know, is the Transkei is like the home of Xhosa people. Like, that's the heart. Like most people, if you ask them where your home is, and when I say where your home is, it's not like where your mother lives. It's like where your grandmother and your grandmother's grandmother lived, like where your ancestors are, basically.
Okay.
It's the Transkei.
Do
It's
you-
the Eastern Cape, basically?
As a South African 24-year-old dude, do you get into kind of genealogy stuff? Do you ask like, where are we from, or is it like we've been in South Africa for generations? Is it like we got a family?
It's an important
tree?
thing to pass down as well. Like if you think Native Americans will definitely pass down a lot of that heritage.
Like honestly, because it's weird because like I mostly grew up in a very Western world, you know. Especially me. If you had to like someone had to hear me speak, they would be like, nah, he's a cheese boy, or he has like a twang about him.
You've told me this before,
I've
cheese
told
boy.
you.
But
Yeah,
I
cheese
can't remember
boy.
exactly
What's a
what
cheese
it.
boy? A Western sounding?
Yeah, Western sounding rich kid.
It's a rich kid, right?
Basically.
Yeah, it's like a mama's boy kind of.
Yeah,
rich
like
South
rich
Africa
kid.
kind of by whatever means is Western in ways.
It was westernized.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying colonialism
Yeah,
had an
colonialism.
effect.
A huge effect.
Totally a lot of negative effects, of course.
Yeah.
And some positive? I don't know.
I don't know.
What-
I feel like saying the positive.
Mostly bad, though. I would say.
Mostly like 80% bad.
80% bad.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, thing about is like globalization is like a freight train you can never stop. You know what I'm saying? Even if I believe even if South Africa wasn't colonialized, we were still gonna be exposed to globalism, which is like a thing that happens.
Which comes down to resources.
Resources.
People love. I mean,
connecting
humanity loves resources.
Yeah.
South Africa has
resources. And like like if we had to speak hypothetically and be like, okay, maybe the Dutch or the British didn't come through and colonialize. Like I feel like we would have still
the Dutch first, then the British.
Dude, history is not my thing.
I believe that's the way
Yeah,
it went.
that is-
Dutch
that is the way-
first.
I'm not
British
gonna.
yeah,
I'm not
second.
gonna even shit talk like legit. Like history is not my thing. But
That's fine.
like yeah.
We're more looking into what kind of South African you are.
Me honestly,
Like
I would say
like I would say I'm a whatever American, he's a whatever British guy.
Yeah.
What kind of South African would you say you are
I think I'd have to go
in
back.
a general sense?
I think I'd have to go back to how I was brought up. My parents were Xhosa people, like full through and through and everything.
That's the language in the household?
language in the household.
Okay.
Like, like if we do.
How many languages do you speak real quick?
English, Xhosa. I don't speak, but I understand and can communicate in other languages.
Mhm.
That would be like
Well, there's-
Afrikaans. You should know
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
There's what, 10 or there's a bunch in South Africa.
11 official languages.
11 official.
Yeah. So I could communicate in Afrikaans low key. So you're not gonna bullshit me in Afrikaans basically.
You can get your point across.
I get my point across. Even like language like Tswana, which is like way up north type in inner land of South Africa.
Okay.
And there's also like Zulu. Zulu is like the Japanese of Xhosa, because you say maybe Xhosa is Chinese, and then and Zulu is like the Japanese.
So it's based off your
I
language.
wouldn't say it's based off, but they kind of like bounce off each other in a weird way.
Okay, so they
I don't
borrow
know.
from each other.
I don't know how to explain
Wait,
it. But
Zulu and Xhosa?
yeah, Zulu and Xhosa. Those are like for some reason they were like rival
They had a similar
tribes.
origin.
Yeah, they have like similar, like very similar. They were like this basically.
Mhm.
Like it's the same way like most people around the world wouldn't be able to tell between Japanese and Chinese. It's almost the same thing as like with Zulu and Xhosa. Like you'd be like, oh, you're a Zulu. Oh,
Is there a sense of camaraderie there if you meet Zulu?
like I don't know. Like I think my generation.
Because in my head, I see. I've never been there, but I see like this like huge, big nation of different kinds of backgrounds, ethnicities,
Yeah, that's the
languages.
That's the
It's
crazy
like,
thing about South Africa. Like
it's
I'm
the rainbow state is what's
Rainbow Nation.
Rainbow Nation. My bad.
Yeah, because that's the cool thing about the way I grew up. My parents never told me what to like and what to dislike as a closer person.
So they gave you.
First of all, yeah, they gave me a lot of freedom. The fact that they still let me like, yo, bro, like, what do you want to do with your life? And it's like, I want to be an artist. Like, okay, cool, go for it.
So
Like,
your
I lived in
parents,
that.
in that sense, were very kind of
Yeah,
open,
just like open,
liberal,
like, yeah, as long as I wasn't doing drugs and I wasn't doing shady shit, my parents
trying to
just,
better
like,
yourself.
Yeah, as long as I'm trying to better myself through education and working really hard. My parents were like, yo, you can go do whatever you want to do.
How would you describe South Africa in 5 words? Any words, good or bad?
Like a sentence or just
no.
separate words?
Five adjectives to describe.
I would say 1, diverse,
Okay.
interesting, rapid. Like, I want to say rapidly changing.
I'll give you that.
Rapidly changing, yet stagnant in certain ways.
Okay.
Which is very weird. And I would say it's a beautiful place. It's
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's like like I was trying to get at earlier. There's so many different aspects of what it is to be a human. Like as far as culture and wildlife and history, prehistory.
Yeah.
I mean, you open an encyclopedia to any sort of human endeavor. It's been done in South Africa.
What would you
Yeah.
say is stagnant? Like you said, changing quickly, but then also
like when
what
I say
part is-
when I say stagnant, like there are some races that still believe like, nah, I'm not gonna mess with another race. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
And there's some races and at the same time, there are some races that'll be like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You will see mixed race couples,
Yeah, like
and in some places you won't see them anywhere.
I've heard a lot of things about it being quite liberal in a way that like gay marriage was legal there first, I think, out of most countries.
Yeah, that's
Weed is legal, right? Like you can
weed.
smoke.
I wouldn't say it's legal. It's you can't get arrested for smoking in your
Okay.
in your house.
Maybe decriminalized.
Decriminalized.
It's been decriminalized.
Yeah.
in certain aspects.